Okay, so good afternoon, everyone. So before we start, can you see my presentation? Yes. Is my voice clear? Can you hear me?
Yes po, sir. Clear po. And the
Okay.
presentation.
Okay. Thank you for responding. So, welcome to our English class. So before we start, I just want to ask, how are you? So I know that we are all challenged because of this pandemic, and I just want to ask if you are doing fine, especially when we are having our online classes. So let us start with Miss Kalila. How are you, Miss Kalila?
Morning, sir. We're fine po. Trying to cope up with the situation and yun po. Trying to do better and be better since it's the pandemic.
Oh, okay, good to hear that since we have no other choice but to adjust, right? How about Miss Longaria?
I'm doing good, sir, even if it is stressful because of the activities and exams that passed.
Oh, I understand what you feel since I've been there before. So, okay, now that I already know that you are still fine in your homes, let us start our lesson proper. But before that, I remember that we already finished our discussions about conjunctions, right? So we will finally move on to our next topic. But just to be sure, we will have a short review regarding our previous lesson. So I will be asking you questions, and wait, I'll just get my uh, list. So yeah, I will be asking you questions about our previous topic, which is conjunctions, and to make everything more interesting, each time you answer a correct to my question, I will give you a hint about our next lesson. So, um, are you guys ready? Let's review. Okay, the first question is, what are conjunctions? Can someone answer?
Sir,
Yes, Miss Sangaria,
may
go.
I answer?
Okay.
Conjunctions are words that joins or connects words, phrases, clauses, and as well as sentences.
Yes, you are correct, Miss Izzy. So, as a promise, I will reveal a hint. That is the hint. Okay, the next question. What other term is used to refer to conjunctions?
Sir,
Yes, Miss Kalila.
connectors, sir.
Yes, Miss Kalila, correct. Connectors. Next hint. So our third question, you just need to identify which conjunctions are present in the sentences. So the first one is choose between burger or fries. What do you think is the conjunctions present in the sentence?
Um, or sir,
Yes, you are correct, Miss Lungaria. Next hint. Oh my God, we're getting close, class. The next sentence is Rico and Jane are good friends. What do you think is the conjunctions in the sentence?
Sir,
Yes, Miss Kalila?
the conjunction is and po, Rico and Jane. So, and is the
Yes,
conjunction.
and because and connected or linked Rico and Jane. Next hint. Okay. Next sentence. He would try to win the competition because he wanted his parents to be proud. What is the conjunction in the sentence?
the conjunction in the sentence is because.
Correct, Miss Sangara. Oh my God. Ayan. Yeah. Okay, just one question and we will finally reveal our lesson. The last question is, it is easy to learn values, but applying it to your everyday living is quite a different thing. What do you think is the conjunction in the sentence?
Sir, I think the word but.
Correct, Miss Kalila. So now, our next lesson is finally revealed. Prepositions of time. But what exactly are prepositions of time? So prepositions of time are kinds of prepositions that are used to talk about specific periods of time, such as days of the week, seasons, year, or even time itself. Now, I want you to analyze the following sentences or examples that I will be presenting regarding prepositions of time and perhaps give me your insights based on your analysis about the examples. So here are the examples. Can someone read all three sentences presented?
Sir,
Sir.
Okay, Ms. Kalila, go ahead.
my grandfather is suffering from Alzheimer's disease, so he no longer drives at night. The second one is, I'll be meeting him at noon. And the last one, my father is in abroad, so he had to adjust and video call me at midnight.
So after reading and analyzing these examples, what do you think is a preposition of time present in these examples? Yes, yes, Ms. Kalila, you can answer.
Sir, in the first sentence, it is at night. Then the second one is at noon, and the third is at midnight. So it is the word at.
Okay, so the prepositions of time, the preposition rather, the preposition of time present in these sentences is a preposition at. So, but how does this preposition work? All three sentences presented uses at, and this preposition is used. Who knows? Let us examine the example so that you can digest what do you think is a function of this preposition. So, Ms. Longaria, can you read these sentences?
We will have a meeting at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. We will meet here in the university at exactly 5 a.m. We will leave for your retreat, so please do not be late. I always go to bed at exactly 8 o'clock.
Okay, so Ms. Longaria, after you read the examples, what do you think is the function of the preposition of time at?
In the first sets of example, all of them talks about a certain time frame, but in these new ones, they are now talking about clock times. Through though I observed that they still use the same preposition of time, which is at.
Okay, so good explanation. This means that we use at when we are referring to time frames, which tells us before the example earlier. But now here the sentences is already talking about clock times. So you just need to remember that we use at when we want to specify time frames and clock times. Okay, so next sets of examples. Can someone read all three?
Sure.
Yes, Ms. Kalila, go ahead.
Send the draft to me by midnight so I can check it for corrections. I am praying that I can finish my school requirements by Tuesday before the signing of clearance. I need to go home by 6 o'clock.
Okay, so what do you think is the preposition of time present in these examples, Ms. Kalila?
All of them use the preposition of time by. Other than that, I noticed that all three sentences are trying to convey a time limit or a deadline to be specific.
Precisely, Ms. Kalila. So the preposition present is a preposition by. And what you said is correct. this preposition is used to indicate deadlines. Like in the first example, the speaker is telling the listener that he must send the draft before midnight so that he can check it for corrections. Now, I just want to give this previous example. Later, we use the preposition at, right? I always go to bed at exactly 8 o'clock versus I need to go home by 8 o'clock. So what is the difference between these two? Earlier, we discussed that we will use at, especially when we are talking about clock times. But how come we use the preposition by in a sentence which talks about clock time as well? So just to for you to grasp the difference between these two prepositions, I will present these examples. So can someone read and answer? What do you think is the correct preposition to use? Is it at or is it by?
Sir,
Yes, Ms. Kanila?
um, please call me blank 9 o'clock. I think we use the preposition at here.
At. Okay, you are correct. How about the second sentence?
Sir,
Yes, Ms. Hungaria?
there is a signal interruption, so I will call probably blank 9 o'clock, so keep your lines open. I think by is appropriate here.
By. You are correct. The third sentence.
Sir,
Yes, Ms.
the
Kalila?
crickets, the crickets are always loud, especially blank midnight. At.
Okay,
At,
it's
sir.
at. And the last sentence.
Homework blank midnight. Sir, it is by.
Okay, it's by. So very good, class. You are able to distinguish which preposition to use in these sentences. But the question is, how did you know which preposition is appropriate in each sentence? What criteria did you consider in choosing the right preposition?
Sir.
Yes, Ms. Kalila?
Sure. So when I answered at, I decided to answer the preposition at in the first and the third sentence because it talks about clock time in general, meaning the time is the main focus of the thought. On the other hand, the number two and the number four uses by because it seemed to focus more on a time period or a deadline in simple words.
Okay, on point explanation, Ms. Kalila. So just remember, we will use by when we want to refer to deadlines or specified times. The next set of examples, can you read, Ms. Hungaria?
Yes, sir. My schedule for COVID-19 vaccination is on Wednesday. My birthday is on the 9th of July. Raven and Robin's wedding anniversary is on August 11th.
So what do you think is the preposition of time used in these sentences?
This time, the preposition of time used in these sentences is on.
Okay, the preposition used is the preposition on. Now, can you give your insights about this preposition based on what you have read?
The preposition of time, I think, is used in these sentences based on the examples. We use on to refer to days and dates. Um,
Okay.
I,
Okay, go ahead.
We use this preposition when we want to talk about the precise dates something took place.
Okay, nice insight. Yes, you are correct. That is the rule in using the preposition on. So I just want to brought back this example earlier in the preposition by. I am praying that I can finish my school requirements by on Tuesday rather, before the signing of the clearance. Oh my God, I can't see this. Okay, so versus my schedule for COVID-19 vaccination is on Wednesday. So what is the difference with this between these two prepositions? We'll find out by examining these sentences. So can someone read and answer which preposition is appropriate? Is it on or is it by?
Sir.
Yes, Ms. Kalila?
So, number one, time flies. I almost forgot that Alyssa's birthday is blank Sunday. Sir, I think the preposition used here is on.
Okay, the preposition to use is on. How about the next example?
Sir,
Yes, Ms. Langaria?
I am expecting you to compile the job applicants' papers blank on Sunday. The preposition I think is by.
It is by. How about the third example, the sentence?
Sir,
Yes, Ms.
Christmas
Kalila?
is always celebrated blank December 25. We use on still in here in this sentence.
Okay, well, we use on in the sentence. How about the last example?
Answer.
Okay,
It is already Christmas break, so school days will officially end blank December 25. It is by, I think.
okay, it is by. So now that you have successfully answered which preposition is appropriate in each sentence, can you tell me how did you know which preposition to use in each sentence? What did you consider, or what criteria did you use in distinguishing which sentence must use on and which sentence must use by?
Sir.
Yes, Miss Angaria?
Just like what we did earlier, it is easy to distinguish since it was explicitly stated in the sentences that focus of the thought. We consider using conjunction on in sentences which focus more on telling the readers or the listeners about the specific dates or days in the sentence. And we use by in sentences referring to deadlines just like earlier.
Okay, detailed explanation, Miss Longaria. So that is exactly the difference between the preposition on and the preposition by. So reminder, we will use on when we are pertaining to specific dates or days of the week. So for the next sets of examples, please read Miss Kalila.
She said she'll be home in 3 weeks. We will visit my grandparents in May. Stand by, ladies. The show will start in 5 minutes.
So what do you
The,
think is the preposition present in these sentences?
the preposition used in these sentences is in, the word in.
In. So what can you say about in based on the examples?
So I think the preposition in is based on the three examples is pertaining to weeks, months, and minutes.
Okay, excellent answers. So just like what your classmate stated, we will use this preposition in order to pertain to weeks, months, and minutes. But how about these next examples? Ms. Ongaria, can you please read?
Yes, sir. Birds often migrate in spring. Her sister will come home in Christmas. The corporation was established in 1954.
Okay, so based on these new sets of examples, what else do you think is the function of the preposition of time in?
Now that I examined the examples, I think we can also use this preposition to refer for two seasons, which is the first example. Birds often migrate in spring. Holiday, which is the holiday, which is the in the second sentence, her sister will come home in Christmas. And lastly, 2 years. The corporation was established in 1954.
Okay, very detailed, Ms. Hongaria. So um, we use also the preposition in to refer to seasons, holidays, or even years. So reminder, but just like what I said, we will use in to indicate year, seasons, weeks, months, and minutes, just like what Ms. Kalila stated earlier. So the next examples, can someone read?
Sir, can I read?
Okay. Yes, Ms. Sangaria.
Roxanne is still staying with her boyfriend for 3 weeks now. The newlyweds will spend their honeymoon in Hawaii for the whole month of October. Ever since his parents died, he's been on his own and wanders the street for the past 2 years.
Okay, so what do you think is the preposition present in these sentences?
Sir, so the preposition used in the examples is the preposition of time for. And I noticed that it has the same function as the preposition in. The examples here use for to pertain to weeks, months, and even years, which is a bit confusing.
Okay, so Ms. Ungaria nailed what the examples are trying to deliver. So this preposition has the same functions as the preposition in. So let us differentiate these two prepositions based on these new examples. So can someone read and answer which preposition to use? Is it in or is it for?
Sir,
Okay, Ms. Kalila.
Mr. Ramirez and his production team will have a meeting, will have a team building blank 2 weeks. Sir,
Okay.
I think in is the preposition of time which is appropriate for the sentence.
Okay, it is in. How about the second sentence?
Sir,
Yes, Ms. Angaria?
she'll be staying in her dorm blank 2 weeks because of the lockdown. The
Okay.
preposition is for.
Okay, that is for. How about the third example?
Sir,
Okay, go ahead.
Serena or Serena is leaving blank February. Um, in February.
Okay, it is in. How about the fourth example?
Um, my family will spend our Japan vacation trip blank the whole month of February. The preposition is for.
For. Okay, how about the fifth example?
Sir, I've never seen her blank 3 years. In 3 years. I've never seen her in 3 years.
Okay, it is in. How about the last sentence?
Sir, my neighbor told me that Callie has been working as a waitress blank 3 years now. For.
Okay, it is for. Now that you have successfully answered these sentences and you finally differentiate the two prepositions, What do you think is the function of the preposition for? How does it differ from the preposition in?
Sure.
Yes, Ms. Kalila?
It is really confusing at first since they have the same elements, but after observing the patterns of the sentences, I learned that the difference between the two prepositions is that in focuses on weeks, months, and years alone, but the preposition for uses those elements to indicate a specific period of time or length of time that is present in the thoughts of the readers or the listeners, or having an idea about how long is the time given in a sentence.
Okay, very detailed, Miss Kalila. You are all you have stated is correct. So just remember, class, that we will use for to specify the time period or length of time that we want to convey. Now, for the next set of examples, can you read Miss Longaria?
Yes, sir. The cosmetics company which Roxanne is working for has been in the industry since 1938. I hope you'll fix your relationship with Zane. You two have been friends since you were infants. My mother has been working as an OFW since she's in her 30s.
Okay, what do you think is the preposition used in these examples?
So the preposition of time used in the sentences is the preposition since.
Okay, so what can you say about since?
I observed that there was again a year involved in the examples, and like what we discussed earlier, we use in when we pertain to years, so it is confusing to see that the examples here is used since even if there is a year involved.
Okay, so we will now differentiate these two prepositions by, again, differentiating these examples. So can you read and answer, Ms. Kalila?
The lighthouse in Zamboanga was established blank 1967, so it is important to preserve its history. I think it uses in.
It is in. It is in. How about the second sentence?
Sir,
Okay, go ahead.
um, the WM appliances have been giving comfort to their customers blank 1967. So it is since.
Okay, it is since. How about the third example?
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Blank Blanca's span of 5 years, the Villarreal's restaurant business has already been one of the Philippines' most successful businesses according to a 2019 survey in a span of 5 years.
Okay, it is in. And lastly, Miss Longaria, can you answer?
Mark continues his acting career after his debut blank 5 years ago. Since.
Okay, it is since. Very good, class. Once again, you have completely differentiated these two prepositions. So after answering these, what do you think is the function of the preposition since? How does it differ from the preposition in?
Sir.
Okay, go ahead.
Um, like what we discussed earlier about the preposition of time in, it focuses more on the year given in the sentence. The preposition since, on the other hand, uses the year in order to let our readers know the definite time in which something has started. It could refer to past action or an event that is still happening in the present.
Okay, very good, Miss Longaria. So all you have said is correct. So just remember, class, we will use since to pertain to the precise time, something has occurred. It could refer to a past action or an action still happening in the present. Okay, class, you are all wonderful. You have, now that we have finally discussed these prepositions, we will finally move on to our activity so that you will apply what you have learned. So our activity for today is entitled Preposition. So the mechanics are simple. We will just analyze the um, following sentences and you will write pro if it uses the correct preposition and pre if it is wrong. And you need to replace it with the correct one. So I will present the sentences. Oh, and by the way, you just need to comment your answers in our comment box. So is everything clear? Do you have any questions?
None, sir.
Okay,
Sir,
so start working. Okay, Bernadette is done. Let us wait for Miss Longaria. Okay, Miss Longaria is also done. So now, I will again present my video. Okay, so let us now check your answers. The first question, can you read and answer, Miss Longaria?
Yes, sir. Marcelo left his home since last week. We do not know where he is. Pro,
Okay,
sir. That is correct.
okay, it is pro, correct. The second question, Miss Bernadette, can you read and answer?
corporation was established on 1958. Sir, it's pre because the preposition should be in.
Okay, it is pre, and like what Miss Kalila said, it should be in, correct. The third sentence,
Sir.
yes, Miss Sangaria?
Please do not call me in night. My parents are not aware of our relationship. It's pre because the preposition in it should be at.
Okay, correct. How about the fourth example, sentence rather?
Sir,
Yes, go ahead.
Miss Andrada, please inform my secretary that all the applicants' curriculum vitae must be received by Friday. Sir, it's all correct, so it's pro.
Okay, it is pro. How about the fifth example?
Um, there will be an important proposal later in noon. It is pre. The
Pre.
preposition in it should be at.
It should be at. It should be at. How about the sixth sentence?
I've been working as a BPO employee for about 3 years now. It's pro, sir. It's right.
It's pro. It's correct. How about the seventh sentence?
The reconstruction of the bridge started since last week, so the transportation is a bit difficult. Pro, sir.
Pro. It should be pro. It's correct. How about the eighth example?
Sir, I have a coffee date with my best friend at Friday. It should be on, so it's pre.
It's pre. It should be on. It should be on. Okay, the next one.
There will be a special school program for athletes on Thursday. It is pro.
It is pro. So the on is correct. And lastly,
Sir,
okay,
contestants, please stand by. We'll start in 5 minutes. It's pro.
it's pro. It's pro. Okay, very good class. You are all terrific, and most of you got high scores in this topic. So it just means that you already understand our lesson proper. But just to be sure, I will give you your assignment that is to be answered until next week. So the title of your assignment is Fill Me. So it is just a simple fill in the blank. Fill in the blanks rather. All you have to do is to write down the correct preposition in each sentence, just like what you did in your activity earlier. So I will be presenting the questions, but you don't need to copy it since I will still post it on our Google Classroom. And remember, you just need to pass it to me before our next meeting, which is next week. So do you have any questions, clarifications, Les?
None, sir.
Okay,
None,
so
sir.
if none, then let's call it a day. Thank you for attending today's class, and I'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.